It's a country song, but it also was, I guess, middle of the road enough to kind of cross over. We didn't go for crossover play. It just kind of happened. Hey, this is Trisha Yearwood, and this is the hit story of my song, Walk Away Joe. Walk Away Joe is the perfect story song about love gone wrong. You know, I always said it's the follow-up to She's in Love with the Boy. It's like, everything's great in the beginning, and then it's like, oh. In the second verse, she's waiting in the car because he's robbing the Texaco, you know, so it's like, it's just so well written because it just takes you down that same path, but then you see the turn in the road. It is really a great story song just about life lessons. In 1992, I was just looking for songs that moved me in some way, and it was a song that had been on hold for the Judds. They were going to retire and Winona was going to have a solo career, so there were a lot of really great songs that kind of were up in the air. And I do love a story song. I mean, when I think about the songs in my career that have been the biggest ones, they've been songs that tell a story and paint a picture. I just thought it was beautiful, and the song ended up in my lap. The rest is really history. I was in Los Angeles singing at a charity event, and I met Don Henley. He had listened to my first album. He knew the songs on my first album, and I'm having that moment of, this is an eagle, and I grew up on this music, and I don't know where it came from. And I just said, well, if you love my music, I'd love for you to come sing on my next record. I don't know what possessed me to say that. I'm not a bold person. I guess I'm probably bolder now than I was in 1992, but I certainly was not then. And when we heard Walk Away Joe, we thought, well, if we're gonna get Don Henley, that's the song. And we called him, and he said yes, which I still to this day can't believe. My favorite story about Walk Away Joe is that after he did his vocal, he was on his way to Washington, D.C. to talk about music and stuff, and he called me and he said, I would like to come back through Nashville and do the vocal again. I can do it better. And I'm like, Don, it's good. Like, it's really good. And it was. And he came back through and he did his vocal again, and it was better. You know, so he's the kind of friend who wants to make sure that it's right. You don't know a song is as special as it is until you record it. You can love a song, but it might not be your song. But we knew when we were recording Walk Away Joe that it was mine. I remember that Eddie Bayers was playing drums and he was playing full kit, and something just didn't feel right. I'm a kind of artist who, I can't always tell you what's not right, but I know something's not. My producer, Garth Fundus, we have this great relationship where I don't really have to say it. I'm like, something's not right, and he'll know what it is. And he said, maybe it's too much drum. And so he asked Eddie what he thought. And Eddie said, let me try hand snare, just playing the snare with my hands, and that's what ended up happening. And I think that was part of the magic that kind of made everybody else just come together and gel. Everybody in the band, when we finished, said, I don't know if that's going to go to radio, I don't know if that's a hit, you never know those things, but we knew that we had done something special. The video director, Jerry Winter, who I did a lot of videos with, you know, what happens is people come to you with concepts, and we wanted to feature Don Henley, and we wanted that to be a performance, and then we wanted to tell this story of this young relationship, this young love. And so Jerry's pitch was, why don't we have you and Don in Nashville performing, and that'll be really cool to have you in the same place, and then we'll cast kind of a mini movie in black and white of this couple. Don and I filmed our portion in Nashville, and then they went to Austin, Texas and filmed the B-roll. It's really cool if you go back and look. It's just a very young Matthew McConaughey. And a lot of people don't realize it. You know, he was a young kid and he was just starting to do some videos and commercials and stuff, and he got cast in this role. And we were never in the same room. It took us 20 years to meet. So I think that's also interesting that, you know, he was in this video, and I would just for years go, yeah, you know, he owes me his whole career, and I never hear from him. We actually met at the CMAs. You know, I'm sitting in the front row and he walks by, and it's like, here he is finally. And so it was a cool moment. I mean, I've never in 30 years known that the song was a hit. I know if I think a song is a good song, we're all very subjective when it comes to music. We like what we like. So I'm just gonna say, anybody who says, oh, that's a hit, they don't know. You know, there's so many factors that have to come together. And the factors in 1992 were a ton of country radio stations who embraced the song, with a guy singing harmony who, at that time, the Eagles weren't even back together, you know, so it was like a real cool thing to have that in my back pocket. And then we saw it kind of cross genres. So I just think the song really just struck a chord with a lot of different people. I think story songs are about life, and I think country music, more than any other genre, really tells those stories. All of our life experience includes love, it includes heartbreak, it includes loss, it includes joy. Whatever emotion I'm going through, I want to hear a song that commiserates with me. I don't want to hear a happy song when I'm mad. I want to hear a song that isn't as mad as I am, or is as heartbroken as I am. So I think that's it, is that there's probably not anybody who hasn't had their heart broken, and that's what that song is about. I make records because I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do. I can't imagine not doing it. It's in my heart. Whatever happened with Walkaway Joe, I couldn't be prouder of recording. I think it was, everything about it had to be right, and it was really the perfect storm.